Good morning and welcome to Coffee with Kristin and Tina. Hello, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. You're watching Coffee with Kristin and Tina. We're your hosts. I'm Tina Prigge of Vagabond Creative Studio. This is Kristin Odell of KLO LLC. So nice to see you. And what are we in the midst of? Do we decide, Kristin, is this full spring or spring of deception?
It's not, it doesn't feel springy.
I saw this meme and this just totally cracks me up because I feel like it's completely true. That, there are 12 seasons rather than 4. And I'm not sure if we're in full spring or if we've moved on to spring of deception, but there was definitely a winter this past weekend.
Yeah, I can't figure it out. And actually, I feel like I just saw this morning another like snow advisory for like Thursday. Yeah.
Seriously?
Thursday night. It says an inch or two. But that's what they said Sunday, and we clearly got more than an inch or two.
Good morning, Stephen from Fond du Lac.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? I want to get back to the snow because you've got some fun pictures and a fun story. But seeing that Stephen is online reminds me, Stephen shared a picture last week after we talked about donuts and punchki. And I believe that these are the donuts his wife made that are chocolate filled and covered in powdered sugar. And wow, that looks delicious.
Those do look really, really good. You know, after we talked Tuesday morning, I learned that my kiddos got to have tchotchkes at school on Tuesday from Hartman's.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah, their options were jelly filled or frosting filled. But
Which would
they
you
were pretty
choose?
happy. They were pretty happy when they came home.
Given the choice of jelly or frosting, which would you choose?
Jelly.
Yeah, me too.
Raspberry if I could choose.
Me too.
Or maybe yellow or like lemon. I was going to say yellow. Not enough coffee yet today.
Yeah, lemon's pretty good too, but yeah, a jelly-filled donut, yum. Steven says, yes, indeed, 5 to 6 inches of heavy white snow.
Yeah, I loved it. So Sunday night, we're sitting here. My parents typically come over sometime on the weekend. So we were sitting here and I said to the girls, if we get snow, we are going sledding at Silver Creek after school because we haven't like had any just with timing or whatever, haven't had a spontaneous sledding event. We've done like the Kiwani Snow Hill, and I think they've definitely gone and played outside and other stuff, but like we're going to capitalize on this, what could be the end of the season snow. And so we woke up to like that amazing snow globe falling. Like Doug, actually, he's so good to me, you guys. Doug is so good to me. Yesterday morning, he opened up the curtain next to my bed yesterday morning so that when I like opened my eyes, I could see the snow coming down. Isn't that so sweet?
Yeah, Jason did the same thing and it was so amazing. It was like being inside of a snow globe, wasn't it?
Yeah. We have, I mean, like, let me just say, I already have the best husband because he brings me coffee every morning. But yesterday I got coffee and a view. So I feel like Jason does for you. Very spoiled. We're so lucky to have good hubbies. But yeah, so that's like how the day started. So I said to the kids, we are going. I had a crazy work schedule. We had like 1 hour where we could sneak it in. And then I had to like put myself back together for an interview last night. But I'm like, we're doing it. So we did it. Yeah. So
And
this
look
is
at
at
how
Silver
beautiful
Creek.
that is.
I know, isn't it cute? So the hill under the snow was ice. So it was really hard to walk up the hills alongside Silver Creek Park. But there's this little like path through the woods there where it was like pine needles and grass underneath. So we were all walking. There was another family with us walking up this little like secret path in the trees. It was so pretty.
Did you go down the hills too? Did you sled?
Oh yeah. Yes. So here's one of the things when the snow is this deep and nobody had really been out, there was just a couple of other families there. Our like little snowboard, they're like this thick, you get face wash every time you go down because the snow is so deep that like the sled can't go over the top. It like pushes it. I had to like totally restyle my hair last night before I went to this meeting. We were laughing so hard because at one point Nora's entire face was white from going down the hill. Look at her hat. She started going down with her hat over her face just to be able to go down, but it was really fun.
It's fantastic, and seeing Nora's hat reminds me that's just a very special kind of winter experience. Like, it's not often that you know what it's like to have a hat just, like, caked in that fresh powdery snow, and it's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, we had like snow down our necks right here. Like when you shake your I had a hooded sweatshirt on, I'd shake it and you could feel it dropping down. I was like, I should have leaned over for that. Like, ooh, it was cold. I had at one point the girls are laughing. My ear was packed with snow like this, and the girls were like, "Your ear is full." It was really silly, but really fun.
And those memories are so precious. Years from now, that's something that they're gonna remember.
Right, right. Grace, I'm glad you got to go sledding last night too. It was so fun.
So did the ice make it faster? Like, was it whooshier because of that, or was it, like, a
I
harder fall because of that? Did it have an impact?
No, it just was really I don't feel like it there was so much snow that the sledding was pretty slow, which is nice because it took a while to get down the hill. But walking back up was really hard. I think because everything was so wet over the weekend that all of that stuff froze underneath. So it was really like we were falling, your legs falling out from underneath you because it was like sheer ice underneath. So you just kind of had to be
Oh.
careful. But oh my gosh, it was fun.
That sounds awesome. Yeah, and it's interesting because this is a shot from a hike I took on the weekend because it was nice. Like, so I was in the midst of this full spring, we went out for a walk at Woodland Dunes and it was
Yeah.
beautiful. And then all of a sudden, the world was covered in this blanket of snow the very next
Yeah.
day. And it's interesting because I feel like we haven't had a lot of big snows like that this winter.
Yeah.
You said you didn't have a lot of chances to go sledding. I think there weren't really a lot of chances.
Right. Well, and while we were on vacation, I said to Doug, I really would just like one big dump of snow yet. And I think it's kind of we had like 4 inches last week and now, well, and ice. And then now this week we got this 6 inches. I was like, yes,
Wish
somebody is
granted.
somebody is listening to me. My dreams have come true. We can now move on to spring officially. Everything is good.
Now, next you should apply that towards like the lottery or something, right? Hey, Stephen
Right.
asks, did you build a snowman or woman?
We did not. The kids did at school yesterday. They said the snow was awesome for building snowmen because it was so wet and packy. But no,
Mm,
we directed all of our efforts outdoors in flying down the hill yesterday.
yeah,
Did you make a
nice.
snowman, Tina?
I did not. I don't have a kid that's interested in doing that anymore, so it's hard to find the motivation myself. But Stephen, did you and your family build a snowman? I'm wondering who else is watching that maybe built a snowman.
Yeah, I think today will still be maybe a good day. I know it's supposed to get a little bit warmer later, which will just mean the snow is a little bit wetter, but I feel like today could be a good day. The sun is shining and it'll feel nice out there.
Nice. Hey, I think
Yeah.
isn't today, did I see like in some feed telling me that today is like International Day of the Woman? And if
It
so,
is
I just want to
International Women's Day. It is.
cheers to you, my
Wait, I gotta
friend.
figure out if I can do it. Nope.
Ah,
Cheers.
cheers.
It's it is
Cheers to
weird.
you.
Cheers to you. It's weird because I have to hold it with my left hand to do that,
Oh.
which I don't. Do you hold your coffee cup in like I am right-handed, so I typically hold my cup in my right hand.
If I'm going to hold it in my left hand, it's typically this type of grip. It's not my first choice, right?
Right.
Usually I drink with my right hand and it's, you know, the handle this way. If I'm a little cold or something, maybe this way. But if it's my left side, I always grab it this way because this
I
just
think
feels a little out of control. I don't know.
I don't have the strength to hold it.
Right, right. Will it make it to my lips?
Right. What is on your cup today?
Well, because it is the International Women's Day, I have a mermaid.
Oh, nice. I love it.
It's from Weeki Wachee in Florida, Weeki Wachee Springs. This is
Nice.
a super cool place. It's like a freshwater spring. And so I took my son, we went just like snorkeling through there, and there's like sea turtles and fish, and they also have a mermaid show, which is super cool.
Nice. I love it. Just real quick to highlight something local. Lori Crawford has been doing voices of women from Manitowoc County, and she released it on her podcast, which I think you could probably find on her Facebook page or her website, but go check it out.
Yeah, I'm just going to put up a quick I'm going to put up a quick screen graphic so that you can see what it's called. It's called
There we
Women
go.
Own Wisdom. So if you're looking
Yes.
for that.
Yeah. So she's been compiling women from Manitowoc County, like what they've learned in the last year and just kind of highlighting awesome women from Manitowoc. So
Yeah, it is
there's
awesome to listen to their voices and hear their stories. I participated in the one that she did last year.
yeah.
Were you one of the voices too, Kristen?
Yeah, I did a podcast interview with her last year or the year before. It might even be 2 years ago.
Oh, maybe
And
it is.
I don't know. It's just always fun. There's always just, it's one of those things that is nice to put on in the background and listen to while you're working. Cause I just think there's like, it's fun. It's insightful. I think it's easy listening, kind of like us.
That's right. That's right. Hey, tell me more about this, Kristen.
So I have not worn a watch in a long time. And we decided to make an investment in some smart watches. Doug and I, Cellcom had a deal where if you bought one, you got one free. So, we always looking for the deal. And I laughed because you had to I'm going to put my hand, scroll through the terms and conditions. It actually made you scroll down to the bottom before you could click the box that you understood what you were accepting. And I laughed out loud. And Doug is like, "What are you laughing at?" And I was like, this is so stupid. I'm not, maybe. Do people read these? I don't. Full disclosure, I do not read the terms and agreement. But in this case, you had to literally scroll through it before it would allow you to click the box. And I'm like that's going to make a difference was my thought.
So it's as if you read it because you did the scrolling, but did they make you do it on the watch? Did you have to
No.
scroll through on the
No, that would be worse. I would be irritated if I had to do that. I was irritated by the scrolling. I'm like, is there going to be a timestamp on here? If you don't spend 5 minutes in the terms and conditions, you couldn't have possibly read it and therefore you can't accept it.
Oh, that's interesting.
Thankfully it wasn't that. I was allowed to scroll down and click the box, but do you ever read the terms and conditions?
Well, is there a Siri option where you could say, Siri, please read these to me? That would be
I feel
interesting to have in the background.
I feel like yes, but I would probably fall asleep listening to it.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like I have too much trust. And that's exactly when it comes back to bite you in the butt, right?
Yeah. There you go. Raisa just said there's an SNL skit long ago where the devil said he was behind the terms and conditions, so we're all in trouble. Ooh, funny. Maybe we'll have to find that and share it on the show next week.
So here's what I need to know, Kristen. When you and Doug start using your Apple Watches, right? When Jason and I use them, and when we go for a walk, like for a hike in the woods, like we did this weekend, we'll say, okay, synchronize. And there's a little setting where you can turn on outdoor walk and it records your time and tells you the calories that you burned and the distance that you went. Even though we'll start them together and we'll stay together, like we're walking side by side the entire time, when we get to the end, I've always gone a little bit further than he has, sometimes by as much as a quarter of a mile. Yeah.
We haven't tried that yet, because we tend to work out at the gym at different times. And if I go to yoga, I actually I take it off because I don't want the mental distraction of having the watch on, but we'll have to try that. We'll have to go for a walk and try it. That's funny. I thought you were going to say that Jason always has more, which wouldn't to me, men typically burn calories easier. They typically lose weight easier. So it wouldn't have surprised me if he came out ahead, but for you to come out ahead, I think is kind of interesting.
Yeah. So it's like saying that I've gone farther. And so what we think is, so it's on your wrist, right?
Yeah.
And as you walk, your arm is swinging. And so I think it's not really GPS based on your distance. I literally think it's counting the swings of your arms and somehow tabulating that. So maybe Jason has a longer
your swing
swing.
Is and Jason's is so that's, I don't know. I've used an app for running before, but it actually tracked your route, which is distance. So
yeah,
Doug and I will try this. I don't know when, but we'll try this and we'll report back.
Okay, yeah. I'm really curious to know, like, is it some anomaly in our settings, or is that, the general experience?
Yeah. I will say that I'm excited. I'm thankful to have it because I find I get sucked into my phone less because like if a text comes through or something, I may quick read it to make sure it's not anything that needs immediate response and then I just move on versus like, if you're on your phone then I get sucked into emails or Facebook or somebody messaged me or something else and then I tend to be on it more. So, it's allowing me
Do
to
you
be
know
more
what?
focused.
I love mine for all of those reasons, but the number one reason why I love it, there's a find my phone function. So like you can just you can slide over and there's a little button, and if you
Yeah.
push it, it'll ping wherever your phone is. I use that feature way more often than you might imagine.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that's part of it is like if I'm not attached to this, then I probably do need to find it.
Like I'll set it
So,
down on the bed or something and now it's
yeah,
lost in the covers, or I set it down on a counter and I forget and walk away and then I'm like, wait, where was I? Or it goes down in the couch, or
right.
some ridiculous thing. But then it
Yesterday
made me
morning,
realize I wish I had that Find My for, like, my
yeah.
glasses and my AirPods and my car keys.
Well, maybe not glasses, but there is like those little trackers you can put on your like keys and stuff like that where you can there's an app for tracking, but I don't feel like it worked very good with glasses, but it definitely works with keys and other
This big
important
thing
things.
dangling here, yeah.
Yeah. Steve wants to know what happens if your phone is on silent or do not disturb.
Yep, that doesn't matter. Because it's only that function, so that's a great question, Stephen. It just pings. You know what? Let me see if I can here, I've got my phone. Let's see if I can, do a little sample. Let's see if you guys can hear this. Oh, let's see, I gotta find where it is. Oh my god, now Siri wants to help. This is not helping. Okay,
Ugh.
so I don't know if you can oh dear God. So there's this little screen, and see there's like a little phone here.
Yeah, that's what that's for.
Did you hear that?
Oh, I
So if you
do.
just push that, it
I love that I now know where to find that feature.
yeah, it's so useful.
Thank you for the laugh today.
So
Oh,
it's interesting, I'd like to know what other features people have on their phones and or their watches that they love, that I'm sure there's so many that we don't know about.
yeah. So I saw Rhonda pop through this morning, so I was just gonna say good morning to Rhonda. Um, yeah, I mean, I've definitely been using like the heart rate tracker, which I know sounds nerdy a little bit, but Doug and I have noticed a correlation with like eating sugar before bed and then not sleeping well. So we have a sleep number bed that also tracks heart rate during the night and restlessness. And so it's been interesting to kind of watch what it does during the day or when I work out compared to like at night. And so I think that's interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Trying to think what
Hey,
else.
let's come back to it because we were talking about Fool Spring and you were saying spring cleaning. So is this related to Full Spring in some way?
This is this is me feeling I don't know if it's not nesting, that's like a pregnancy thing, but like I have the itch to get stuff in order right now. So I bought these little trays at TJ Maxx. It was a whole little set. And I said to the girls, like, we're gonna do this junk drawer. And the junk drawer, literally everything you see on the screen just used to be dumped in the drawer, plus a bunch of crap we got rid of. And so I started kind of segmenting things like pencils or pens or whatever. And my little Nora just said, like, hey, can I keep working on this? I was working on dinner one night and I'm like, yeah. And so like I started it and she finished it. But how cool
What?
is that? So now the whole drawer, it makes my brain so happy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
So,
so awesome. It's awesome to think like all these little things would have been like intermixed before. And how
oh
could
my
you
God.
quickly find like that tiny battery or one of those little squeeze things of glue, right? But now it's like
Right.
so perfectly organized.
Right. And there's some things in here, like I question if they still need to be in the drawer. Like you might notice that we have 5 flashlights in there. Uh, Not all of them actually have batteries in that work, so they're not even functional. So, like, I still have a mental problem with Like that's a little bit excessive. Or the tool drawer. So like we obviously have screwdrivers and pliers in the house. Like I feel like that needs to go back in the toolbox outside. Um, but then there's things like the tape measure. We use the tape measure out of the drawer all the time. So super glue, when you have kids, I feel like we use super glue on a regular basis. So yes, there's a little glue thing there. The one in the middle is erasers. Again, we're doing homework at home. So yeah, the kids were
Okay.
mad because some pencils, sorry, go ahead.
What's in the top left?
Uh, Black and blue pens
Oh, those are pens. Oh, okay. Okay. Gotcha.
of large, unridiculous, like absurd quantity of black and blue pens. Which I was sorting pens by the color of ink. So initially the little tray on the right was like anything that had colored ink. And then once Nora started sorting, she just said if the outside of the pen is black, then it goes in the other one. And if they're colored, it goes in. So there is blue and black ink pens in that drawer, but that's how she sorted it. So yeah.
Gotcha. You were going to say too that they were mad something about the pencils?
Yes, because I was throwing pencils away that were like had a crack in them, that was missing any pencil that was missing the eraser. I pitched and they're like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "Listen, this pencil does not even have an eraser. Like, we are blessed to have this many pencils left after and said racers and the like, it'll be okay. It's time to give the pencil a hug and move on."
So where does the pencil sharpener live?
Pencil sharpener lives in, well, we call it the playroom, but that's where they have desks and do schoolwork, which is close to our kitchen, but very accessible.
Cool. Is it an electric one or is it one of the old crank style ones?
No electric one. When we started virtual schooling, we invested in a good pencil sharpener.
Yeah, that's awesome. There's something
Well, and
so satisfying, I think, about a freshly sharpened pencil, and then when you first put it on the paper,
even the grinding sound, I think, is, because you in the beginning it's like hard, and then it like, and then you hear it like get sharp.
yeah. Yeah, even the scent, like the smell of a freshly sharpened pencil is kind of intoxicating. Now,
Right.
I have to admit, I do geek out on office supplies. Like, I love all of that stuff. So maybe it wouldn't appeal to everybody, but
Right. Well, and the girls do colored pencils quite a bit too for like drawing and doodling and stuff. So having a pencil sharpener handy is always a good thing. At our house, it is.
yeah, absolutely. Okay, you sent a picture. Oh, what did you say?
I was just going to say, are you doing any spring cleaning?
Okay, I'm going to go to a different picture.
So no.
Actually, this winter we did something really similar, like you did with your drawer, and we got all of these little containers at IKEA, and we have like these little shelves going down the basement, and they were just like catch as catch can, right? Like there were hammers here and whatever, and we got all of these containers and organized them and labeled them. So like now there's a battery container, there's a tape container, there's a small tools container, and it has like changed life, right? Like the
Yeah.
order and the organization is so almost intoxicating.
Yeah. It just makes it like puts a system in place. Yeah. They still have manual pencil sharpeners at definitely in the schools. I know that. We always had one in in the basement. My dad had affixed it to like his tool bench in the basement, so we could run down there and do the hand crank.
Yeah, that was always delightful too, and it was cool because it had the little dial where you could like choose the width of your pencil.
Yeah, there is not an IKEA in Manitowoc.
I wish that would be.
Yeah, I think the closest one is like, is it Cudahy or
Oak Creek.
Oak Creek? Thank you.
Yeah.
I knew it was done that way. I have ordered from IKEA online though and had it shipped. Like
Yeah, you can do that. Although sometimes the shipping is super expensive on IKEA stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
depending
didn't
on what
have.
it
I
is.
think we did like storage cubes with bins that pull in and out for the toys in the basement, and I think we had free shipping on those. But it worked out awesome. Things went together nicely. The tubs are great. Everybody's happy.
It's so simple. It's just I like how simple things are.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
with you.
So We were talking, you sent me this image and you shared it in the chat and you titled it Mystery Bubble. And Jason and I were like, what? And we like looked at the picture for quite a while. Now it seems completely obvious now that I know what it is and where I'm looking. But at first I didn't know.
Yeah. So you do see it now?
I see it now. Yeah.
Okay. So Sunday at church, I was working at the nursery desk and I was there all morning. And like halfway through the second service, I look up and there's this one, and the bubble was not any bigger than like maybe a half an inch, hovering midair in the hallway. Now, the kids do play with bubbles or what have you, but like how this little bubble floated out into the middle of the hallway. So it was immediate, like Doug and I call it the ping. Like you get a feeling about something that like is unexplainable. So then I'm like, I've got to try to get a picture. Like this would be cool to share with Jason and Tina. Well, you try taking a picture of a half-inch bubble floating in the hallway. And at one point, like the bubble had the carpet behind it, like the long way down the hallway, and you could barely even see it. So it finally floated like in front of this door where I feel like you can see it. But isn't that so crazy?
It feels like just a little moment of magic, right? Because it's not like you're by somebody that's blowing a lot of bubbles or in a place where bubbles would generally be formed. When you see
Right.
a bubble completely out of context, it's like this little moment of magic.
It totally captured my attention. It was very magical, quite spiritual actually, because I'm like at church on Sunday morning, and it just like I felt like I just stopped for a moment in time and it was just me in the bubble hanging out in the hallway.
That's pretty cool. And I feel like the
Yeah.
rabbit on the wall behind is checking it out too. Doesn't the rabbit look just as impressed?
Yeah. Like the lady missed the bubble, but the rabbit was like, I see it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Hey, Steven said something. Let me pull this up. He said, I read that FedEx is looking into building a distribution center. So, do you mean in Manitowoc, Stephen? That would be amazing. Or do you mean like for FedEx or for IKEA so that
Yeah.
Kristen and I can get more IKEA things? Or
I mean, like
Thanks, also.
Amazon's distribution center is down near IKEA. So like we get Amazon pretty quickly now because it's in Milwaukee.
Did you ever go to an IKEA and eat in their cafeteria?
Yes, but a long, long time ago. It's been a long
It's
time
so
since I've actually physically been in an IKEA store.
it's so interesting. Oh, hey, Stephen said yes in Manitowoc. Wow.
Mm.
I hadn't heard that. That's amazing. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, if Steve, if you have like a news link or something, you'll have to throw it in the comments. I have not heard that.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Wow. Well, this has been so much fun. Kristen, thanks for joining us here on International Women's Day. Thanks to all of you viewers for joining us. Hope you have an
Yeah.
awesome week, and we'll look forward to seeing you next time. It might be full spring, it might be third winter. We're not sure, but we're looking forward to seeing you nonetheless.
Next week we'll tell.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye guys. Have a